At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes, at the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or dsw.com today and let us surprise you.
Welcome to Ask Amy from What Fresh Hell, laughing in the face of motherhood, solving your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. This week's question came from a member of our Facebook group. You can always join that at facebook.com/groups/whatfreshhellcast. This member wrote in to say, I'm having lunch with a lifelong friend who I don't see or talk to frequently. I do know that she recently started IVF. My life is currently extremely overwhelmed because I have 2.5 and 1.5-year-olds that I was fortunate enough to conceive very quickly. How do I support my friend and also talk about my life without seeming like I'm complaining about what she wants so badly? I've never been nervous to see her in my life, but I just feel like I'm going to indirectly hurt her feelings in some way. This is a great question, and I feel like I'm the perfect person to answer it because I am not only somebody who knows what it's like to have a 2.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old and be surprised and delighted by having 2 little kids at once, but I was somebody who dealt with infertility for about 1.5 years before my first child was born, and did not get all the way to IVF, but I got pretty far down the path. It was really hard, to go through. It was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my life, and I cried a lot, and I have been that person on the other side of this. While we were struggling with this, my brother's wife got pregnant with their first child. My husband's sister got pregnant with that family's first child. People were completely lapping us and having their second children. So I remember really well what it was like to really be yearning for a child of our own and be spending a lot of time around little kids and around friends and family members who were having little kids and celebrating that. And really 2 things can be true for this friend that you're having lunch with. She could both be really struggling with this reality in her life and still be really into kids and really into hearing about them and celebrating that and looking forward to that time in her life. I was. And when I was in this position, it was definitely harder for me to pretend not to be sad about it in a given situation than just to be a little bit sad about it. So my suggestion is to talk about this first. As soon as you sit down, acknowledge it, give it some space, because then the discomfort of dancing around it and how does she feel and will this be weird is over if you just sit down and say, so I'm hoping this won't be weird because you've been on my mind. I found out you're going through IVF. Ask her how it's going, because infertility is quite a ride. And believe it or not, some very funny and ridiculous things can happen along the way. If she cries when you bring it up, that's okay. Don't worry about that because you're not reminding her of something that wasn't already extremely top of mind. And tell her how lucky you are that it was easy for you to conceive 2 healthy kids, that you don't want to take that for granted, and that you certainly don't want to hurt her feelings by talking about them. Let her know that you're sensitive to that, and then that's kind of all you have to do. And then if she wants to see pictures of your kids and hear all about them, great. She very well might be, because I was super into holding my friends' kids and my nieces and seeing them and hearing about them when I didn't have kids of my own yet. And if she says it's hard, then you've talked about it, and then come prepared with a couple of other things to talk about. But for me, at least, if my friends that I thought were so lucky because they were pregnant, because they were having kids, just showed me a moment of truly genuine support and acknowledged that they knew what I was going through and it must be hard for me, then I could move on. I mean, I might shed a tear or 2 and say thank you, and that was it. And then we moved past it. It was really when I felt like I had to clamp down on that sadness and not show it. That's when it would kind of take over. So give your friend space to talk about her reality. And then I really do think there will also be time to celebrate your own. Send us your parenting questions and we might answer yours next. Email us questions@whatfreshhellpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.